angels. Think about that the next time you call them Jesus Lord.
Not getting too much content on the internet.
You bring up a legitimate point there. Because for adults, of course, it can be serious, it can be problematic. But perhaps it's even more dangerous for kids because adults sit around in a room and do podcasts about this type of topic. We discuss it, we're aware of it, it's on the forefront of our minds, right? Kids don't think like that.
Okay. One way or another, I can show it to you. The most popular NIV was written by a lesbian. The New King James, the second most popular, made Jesus Christ a liar.
Their rejection of him is summed up in the oft-repeated phrase, "For my servant David's sake."
Stick to that mobile phone or a computer without doing anything else. You forgot to sleep, you forgot to eat, and that is when you are having the so-called medical term addiction.
Yeah, and hence the negative consequences. I think there are... I'll push back just a little tiny bit on that because it's not our topic for today, but I think you can still function and be addicted to certain things.
Sure.
But yeah, a full-blown, full-on addiction is probably something you're defining there. Any difference between, still on the topic of children, any difference between urban kids and rural kids coming back here to China? Can we find a difference there in terms of smartphone usage or addiction, or do we see similar results?
Yeah, and there are some scenarios when parents work away from home and children often stay behind in their home.
A fellow named Kurt. Government on June 30, 2025 consists of a reissue and amendment of National Security Presidential Memorandum number 5 that the U.S. government itself had issued on June 16, 2017 at the beginning of Donald Trump's first term in office. Cuba categorically denounced and rejects both versions of the infamous document. As a clear expression of that country's aggressive conduct and economic purposes, the original text and its current reissue contemplate a body of measures aimed at further strengthening the economic siege and causing greater shortages to the Cuban people. In the failed attempt to take over the country and rule its destiny in accordance with the provisions of the 1996 Helms-Burton Act. Already since 2017 and under the protection of the memorandum then issued, the U.S. government began the application of measures of extreme reinforcement of the economic blockade that took it to a qualitatively more harmful dimension. These measures have been maintained through 8 years, including the period of Joseph Biden's administration, and explain to a large extent the current shortcomings and the great challenges faced by the Cuban economy for its recovery, growth, and development. The Cuban Ministry of Foreign Affairs' rejection to resend Trump's memorandum also states, the original 2017 memorandum has been the policy platform that drove, among other measures, the near absolute ban on U.S. travel to Cuba. It is the one that induced the persecution of fuel supplies, the hindrance of remittances, and the measures against governments of third countries for having Cuban medical services to attend their respective populations. It is also the one that has promoted pressures on commercial and financial entities from any part of the world to impede their relationship with Cuba. The one that has brought lawsuits in U.S. courts against investors in our country. The one that ordered the slanderous inclusion of the island in the list of alleged state sponsors of terrorism, with its harmful consequences for the
and we saw.
You're going to have a dumbing down effect, aren't you? That's not the only way you'll dumb the people down. I was amazed. By the way, it's true. I was trying to find curtains for the set, and I needed a couple of 3-foot wide curtains. I went in there with Montgomery Woods, and went in one of the satin fountain phone, and I told her what I needed. So I need 2 that are 3 feet, and I want one that's 3.5. She said, I went back on the check. I said, oh, excuse me, can you tell me how many empties that would be? Now this is...
Science has seen a world of women. Statistically speaking, you are more likely to succeed in art than
Your customer service has been outrageous.
Sorry, this chatbot has been found like 572 nasty slurs in the past 3 months. We're fixing it.
you do know AI is just a tool, and there really is no need to say please in the input.
Yes, but that's how I would talk to my kids. For self-driving cars, young school books and hamburgers. Can AI spit out swear words in the place of friendly hellos? We feed tech with more than just binary codes, but the kindling of human civilization, the best and worst of our potentials. My buddy, how do we fix the world?
I see you shared your last cookie. You've just made it better. And I believe when we grow up together, we can do much more.
Why? Because we really love hearing them. And you can send a voice note with any of the things, discussing any of the things that we talk about here on the show. And if you're looking for the show, you can find us at Roundtable China on Apple Podcasts. And now, America's food culture and Canada's food culture, I think we can throw Canada into this as well, has long been known as being mild and, dare I say, bland. But a new trend is setting the culinary world on fire. From restaurant menus to home kitchens, chili peppers and bold flavors are appearing everywhere. Is it a shift? Is it a fad? Is it a reflection of a change, a deeper change in people's palates? There's an interesting history behind the crazy previous aversion to heat that we'll talk about briefly. And I think it's interesting, too, what's driving this new obsession, as well as kind of the fascinating science behind why we crave the burn of spicy food, when sometimes, some days, you just want that heat so badly, and also how food companies are adapting to people's changing palates, too. Lots to discuss. But straight to it. I'm from Canada, and you're from China, but I'll ask you, why is Western food so bland?
Well, thanks for asking. That makes me like Molly.
Après arriver du coup passer barricage-là, sans empreinte carbone, en tout cas à faible empreinte carbone. Donc voilà, à partir de ce moment-là, je me suis dit, ok, j'ai cette idée-là, maintenant comment je la mets en place? Moi je ne savais pas naviguer à l'époque. Ce qui s'est passé, c'est que j'ai passé la formation quand c'est le CNP, le certificat de matelot à Nice, dans lequel là-bas j'ai appris la navigation, la météorologie sur 3 mois. Mais après, il me manquait l'expérience sur le terrain, et donc j'ai travaillé 6 mois sur un très gros voilier, sur lequel j'ai pu apprendre énormément de choses. Et dans la foulée, j'ai acheté 6 maillots, enfin un voilier de 6 mètres 6, qui est trop petit pour la mer Noire et trop grand pour le fleuve. Donc voilà, il fallait trouver un compromis parce qu'on allait vivre sur un bateau pendant 9 mois, parce que l'expédition allait durer on descend de Danube à la voile, on reste dans le delta et puis après on rentre par la mer. Donc il fallait vraiment...
Campeona de la Copa Mundial FIFA 2022 y cuna de iconos del fútbol como Lionel Messi y Diego Maradona. En apariencia, este éxito parece provenir de campos de fútbol de élite y entrenadores famosos. Sin embargo, los barrios pobres de Buenos Aires cuentan una historia diferente. En esta sección hemos adaptado el artículo titulado Villas Unidas, el club de fútbol femenino que revitaliza valores en los barrios pobres de Argentina, escrito por Agustín Bullman y publicado por primera vez el 9 de julio de 2025. Durante más de 20 años, Fernando Signorini, preparador físico de larga data de Diego Maradona,
This is the way you shall bless the children of Israel.
Time to shine limbs.
You're listening to the mighty KBC on 891 kilohertz medium wave.
There is an email from Doug Brown. Not sure how it sounds for a canary, but the dog we had was named Dusty. We had to put him down a couple years ago due to a large lump on his side that started bleeding and wouldn't stop. He was a great dog. And for Doug's wife, we play this song and we say happy birthday, Laura.
Anyway, Jerry sounded really good. The Mark sounded good.
Della vida normale.
It's, I tell you, and yeah, the sand in bags. I don't know, freezer bags. Yeah, you obviously need a heavy bag that's not going to get moisture through it. You want to get all the moisture out, so to speak, and if you can't, you need to get one of those vacuum sealers and just take all the air out entirely. Because air is where the frost comes in, right? So you want to suck all that air out entirely. And those bags will last in your freezer for years and years because, you know, air is what we need to survive. But air is the enemy when you're storing something. So that's why they always suck the air out of everything. And that's why you boil cans when you're canning. You gotta boil it to suck the air out, right? The air is the devil when you're storing. Air is given to us because we need it. So always remember that. That's what my mom and dad from the corn farms, Missouri and Kansas, told me growing up. But I was not a farmer. They moved me away from the farm to do something better in life, and all I did was go and jump out of airplanes. So there you go. I guess my apple fell right to the ground. But anyway, who's next? I have no clue, but anyway, it's N0BUZ over here in Madera Beach, Florida, and Jerry is my neighbor, about 12 or 14 miles east of me. So I'll whoever's next, I don't even know, but N0BUZ. I'll be on the side.
Go ahead, Brian.
Did you hear Clarence, how loud he was tonight?
Su hermano Vicente muere en los atentados de Madrid y claro, mientras muchos le reclamaban venganza, su familia afrontó el dolor no solamente desde la fe, sino aprendiendo a perdonar. Y años después, Fausto María, de su vocación de esposo, padre y bien